Hello everyone and welcome to the STAR Mentoring Program. In this video, I just wanted to talk about more things about the string class and making strings. So, first thing I wanted to talk about is what's known as string concatenation. So you might not know what that word is, and I'll explain it in just a second, but first let's create our string. So string, we'll call this, how about my message? And we're going to give it a value of, say, hello. Just like that, don't forget the semicolon. And there is our message right here. So what if we had, what if we wanted to add something to the string? Well, we're going to do a process known as concatenation. So this is how it works. Say we have a number 1. I'm going to put this in a comment real quick. So say we have a number 1 and we want to basically add the number of 2 to the end of it. So we're not doing 1 plus 2. We don't want 3. We want it to say 12. That right there is concatenation. It's where you basically put a number at the end of another thing. And in this case, we're going to do the same thing with a string. So the way you do this with strings is actually really easy in Java. All you do is you use the plus operator, and that is going to add a string to the end of my string. So let's say I typed in world right here, and you're going to see right now I can print out my message just like this, and it will print out the value that's stored inside of hello plus world. So let's try this right now, and you're going to see there is a little issue. So there's no space right here. That's because this string concatenation doesn't automatically add a space for us. We're going to need to manually add a space. You could do that by either adding it to the end of this little space right here, or if you really wanted to, you could also go plus space plus world. And now that's going to fix our spacing for us, just like that. Hello world. I had no idea why this is an error right here. This code spacing is sometimes just a little bit funky. Yeah, now it's created two quotes, which is wrong. It just sometimes does a little bit weird things. I'm so sorry about that. I wish it was a little bit more reliable than that sometimes. But basically, that is how you can do string concatenation. There's a lot of other useful things we can do with strings. One of the things I want to go over is some of the useful methods on strings. So let's try first this starts with. So I don't want to use this implementation of it. I want to use dot starts with a string. So what this is basically going to do is let's see if it starts with H. So this is going to tell us if it starts with H, and it says true because it does. So let's say I said starts with 3, this is going to give us the value false. And you might remember these from earlier. These are actually booleans. So if we wanted to, we could actually give this a value. So we could create a boolean with the value of whatever this is. So let's say we'll call it starts with H equals my message dot starts with H. And then instead of printing out this long thing right here, we could just print out starts with H, just like that. And of course, it will give us the exact same result, and it's going to say true. So that's just one of the useful methods. Another very useful method we have is the index of method. So this method is going to give us, I believe, an int. So let's create an int. We'll call it, how about length? No, index of equals my message dot index of, and yeah, this is going to give us an int. This is the return type right here, by the way. So index of, we're going to say, how about e? So we've created an int that's the value of this index of. Now whenever we try to print this out, let's see what we get, and it gives us 1. Now this might be kind of a confusing result, because if you look right here, e is actually the second character. But the reason why this happens is because string counting always starts from 0. So we're going 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, just and so on and so forth. So that can be very confusing whenever you're counting. So say we wanted to get the index of r, it's going to be the exact same type of thing. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, but it gives us the value of 8 because we start from 0. So just like that, we could get the index of a certain character. And just like with the starts with, there's also ends with, which works in a similar way. And we've already gone over this one before, but length will give us the length of the string, just like this. And there we go, we get 11. So one last real quick method I wanted to go over was the replace method. So let's say we do this, and we're gonna use replace. I believe we'll use this one right here. So we're gonna replace a char with another char. Now, if you remember, chars are just single quotes. So let's say I wanted to replace an O with a 5. No, how about a 0? So let's do that right here. Oh, and of course, this is not letting me assign it to a value of an int. It needs to be a new string. So let's do that right now, and this is going to create a new string for us. And now it says hello world. It's replaced those O's with zeros. I believe we can also use replace with multiple characters. So say we wanted war, we're going to replace it with, how about, how about we replace this? We'll replace LL with 1 1. So you'll see this is going to change this to 1 1, but this is still an L. This is probably not the greatest character because L and 1 look so similar, but you can see this one's still an L, but this one is 1 1. So those are just some useful methods with string. Oh, one more I just wanted to teach, a few more I wanted to teach just real quick. The trim method. This is going to basically take off any extra characters we have. So I don't think it'll take off spaces, but let's see. Let's put a space at the beginning. And if we trim it, yeah, it's taken off the space, so it will. So if we have a bunch of spaces right here, and we trim it, it's going to take off those extra spaces. So let's say I printed out my message instead of index of, which is not a very good name. I forgot to rename this variable. Um, So let's say we printed out my message instead of my message.trim. That is going to do that. And you can see whenever we did the trim version, it trimmed it down, took off those extra spaces. But this one still has these extra spaces at the beginning. That is the trim method. And then a few more things I just wanted to show with strings. I know this video is getting a little bit long. So first, you can create a new line within a string using these backslash, what are called escape sequences. And these are basically there's a few of them I'm going to teach you. First one, if you type a backslash in a string, you'll notice it's not a big fan of that. Uh, yeah, so that's because backslashes are used for escape sequences. Let's say I wanted to create a string that spanned 2 lines. I can actually put a backslash n right here, and you can see this string actually prints out on 2 different lines. Another escape sequence we have is, let's say we wanted to actually create a backslash in a string. Let's say we were storing a file path, because it's C colon slash slash, or no, C colon slash, I don't know, users slash Justin. So you'll notice normally these paths only have one backslash in them, but because we're inside of a string, Java requires us to put 2 backslashes, and that's only going to print out 1 backslash onto the screen though. So that can be a little bit confusing how to put backslashes into strings. And then the last type we have is, say we wanted to put a quote in our string. So we'll make this message say my name, we'll say hello Justin. But you'll see I can't have these quotation marks. Obviously, one solution you can use is to put single quotes, but what if I really just want double quotes? Well, you can actually do the same type of thing we did with the backslash and put backslash quotation mark, and that will allow me to put in those double quotes, and now it says hello Justin with those quotes.